Namaskar. Welcome to all of you on uh, forensic using Kali Linux program. And thanks for your showing interest in the program and joining on a very important journey for becoming good security professionals. We'll be touch basing on various aspects of the program. It will start with, I'll give you a debrief today on what Kali Linux and forensics is all about. And then we'll start from tomorrow. As it is a zero to hero program, so naturally you need to start from scratch. So we'll start with, basics of Kali Linux. And then we'll move on to advanced topic of forensics. We'll be touch basing around 100 plus, commands, and we'll be doing practical in each one of the chapter. Around 20 odd, practicals we'll be doing on basics of Python, Kali Linux. And once we are done with, the Linux, hands-on training completes, we'll be taking you to a journey of advanced Kali Linux, and the forensics journey will begin. As a part of the program, this is going to be a bulk of content and multiple tests. If you miss any class, you need to finish that on the same day, as the video will be available on YouTube. So as we go into the paradigm of syllabus and how we conduct the entire training, you'll come to know more about it as we progress. As it's an online program, it's not like college online program that you miss a session, miss a test, and you still expect a certificate at the end of it. So let me not mince the words. This training is a serious training. And many of you are joining free. Most of you, around 5,000 students will be joining free. Around 100 odd people, you people have paid small money and you are doing the course. This course is actually run in only two places. One is University of Wisconsin, and the second one is in Carnegie Mellon University. And there are contents available on it everywhere on the YouTube, but we'll try to, make it as special as possible so that you pick up the course equivalent to SANS and Carnegie Mellon University. And most of those courses are in $10,000 plus. And you people will be gaining a significantly important knowledge base for being a good security operation professionals in a very short span of 25 to 30-day journey. We are not going to make you experts. I don't want to commit or overcommit before we deliver. So this journey will be very simple. Will make you a good forensics professionals who understand the nitty-gritty of forensics and surely understands the Kali Linux together. We are not going to teach you forensics, using any tools which are available in commercial domain or it is available in GitHub libraries. We'll be using the existing forensic capability in the Linux and we'll touch base those engineering aspect of forensics, which provide you something extraordinary, capability, not only to know the topic, but also can create your own tool down the line. So purpose is not to train you on a subject forensics using, the adversary country's tools like in case, and there are many, many more. I don't want to name them even. But the plan is to provide your insights how Linux can be leveraged for forensic investigation. I know that many of you have come from law enforcement agencies, and I'm very sure that most of the police stations, they don't have even the forensic capabilities, while the investigators needs it right at their doorsteps. So this knowledge, I'm sure some of you, those who are from law enforcement agency, it will be very interesting for you, because you will be able to do many of the investigations using Kali Linux, which is available freely on the internet. So coming to the topic, how the course flow will happen. The course flow will go in a daily basis. We'll have some time, preferably 7 to 9, and it might go to 10, or sometimes it can go to 11, depending upon how the flow is going. We are running late. We might end up doing the sessions on weekends, the long session on weekends on Saturday and Sunday, or maybe 5 hours each, or maybe two sessions on Saturday and Sunday, just to take you through the entire journey. And mind it is not a normal, training. So you will have to undergo multiple level of test. If you miss out any class, you'll fail the test, and don't expect a certificate at the end of it. Because our every test will carry some marks. And when you go into the paradigm of the final certifications, every test marks will get added. If you have got anything less than 70% of the marks, you will not be eligible for the certificate. So if I am in your place as a student, I'll prefer to attend the live class first, and then revisit the videos before the next class starts. And there will be no respite. The test will be continuously happening every second day. There will be some test. There will be a lot of practicals. You will be given task. You will have to finish the practicals. You will have to do the screenshot of those practicals, and you will have to drop it, your evidence that you have completed the practical on a daily basis. So those who have thought that, it is a very small money, $500, and I'm here for learning interesting, get ready for climbing the Mount Everest. I am Balaji Venkateshwar, your Sherpa for taking you to Cyber Riam, the Mount Everest of the cyber. Just for introduction's sake, I have got almost around 30 years of experience in cyber defense. And I have been in this space, many of you might not have even born. I did my, forensics study as early as 95. I'm not a forensic expert. I don't want to claim it to be. I've been in cyber defense area. My area of specialization has been offense, as well as, the area of cyber defense. And it's not using the tools, but writing my own scripts, using sometimes C, sometimes Java, or sometimes Python. Nowadays, I do the scriptings on Golang, and the journey continues. So get ready for some real study. While the first few days, 10 days, for some of you, those who are already well versed with, the basics of Linux, you will get bored. But you will have to attend the classes, because those who are looking for certificate, your attendance on Zoom link has to be a mandatory one. You cannot afford to miss one. So your attendance, your exams, altogether will provide you a successful journey down the line. Now, coming to the dimension of forensics, the syllabus is the first will teach you the Kali Linux, the basic, steps, around 100 odd commands. And once you are done with that, then we'll move to the forensics part of it. Each one of you will have to have some devices with you to achieve the goals of the practicals that we'll be doing as a course of work. So one of them is, I have already sent you all the mail. Please check your mail. A lot of details are there. You need to be on the certain Telegram group, which you have mentioned. If you are not part of the Telegram group, no communication will be sent to you. And your exam, you will miss it. And you will be responsible for that, not Cyber Vidyapeeth Foundation. All our communications will happen on Telegram. So if you have been sent a link, you have to be there. And make sure that you are there by design today itself, because we'll start sharing your contents. As a part of, Vijayadashmi gift, I've sent you a content on Linux. It's a very comprehensive content. It has been sent on your mail as well today. Please download that and start reading that content, because most of your questions that will come in the exam will come from that book. In addition to that, we'll be teaching you in the classroom, but we'll cover both, our class sessions and the notes that we have prepared for you. You can use that reference book as a part of the journey. So I hope that, that gives you a fairly good idea about how we are going to conduct the class. Those who are looking for certificate, they have to be on the Telegram link and they have to be on Zoom link. The Zoom link that you have been shared to you, it is only meant for you. If you share it with somebody else, we'll come to know the same link has been used twice and we'll ban you once and forever. After that, no access to the Zoom will be available to you. If you by mistake shared it, please stop using it now. Else, that link will get blocked and you will never be able to access that link again. Then you will have to go to the YouTube and you have to be there. We are not going to listen to anything that you have paid, not paid. Zoom is an extra feature we are giving it to certain students just to make sure that your learning is little better and you will be able to, at the end of the session, you will be able to interact. And your attendance will be done here. So please don't share the link. That's another, important component. The Telegram link that has been sent to you, it is meant for you only. Don't share that mail to anybody else. And join the Telegram group as fast as possible, because at the end of the session today, we'll send you some stuff there. And if you are not there, you will miss it, because I'm not going to send any other mail. So Cyber Vidyapeeth will interact to you only on Telegram link from now onward. So Jai Ganesh, let's start with the class today. In between, we'll have, some guests who have come with, something significantly important forensics background. As and when they join us, today or tomorrow or day after tomorrow, we'll introduce you to them so that you can get fairly good idea why forensic is so important in the realm of investigation. The session will be taken by 2-3 trainers. I'll be available at the initial days of the programs, and then I'll hand it over some of the tasks to my teams. They will be part of your journey. And in the group, they are all joined together. Don't discuss anything on the Telegram group other than the importance of related to challenges of the course. No shares are allowed by default. Only you can comment or you can write. If I find that a lot of unnecessary comments are happening there, either I'll block you or I'll block all of you, so that only important information shared by Cyber Vidyapeeth Foundation is there and none of you are able to misuse that facility. But I love to keep that open, vibrant group. No sharings, just ask the right questions if you have one, and also have the courtesy of revisiting the answer of all the question answer that has been shared, so that if you have similar questions, your questions can be answered from there. Okay. So let's start with the day today. Getting some initial idea of what forensics is all about and why forensic is important for the society. So forensics, we'll cover today some of the topics. What is digital forensics? What are the methodology that is used in digital forensics? Why there is a need for digital forensics as technology advances? What are the operating system it is required? With reference to the Kali Linux is one of the operating system. And what are the tools within the Kali Linux? Boys, don't annotate, otherwise you'll be dropped off. Mr. Yadav, don't do the annotations. I can block you and I can block you forever. Don't try it again. Again, you have tried it. And we'll just go into little bit of, what are the commercial forensic tools are available. And at the end of the journey, we'll try to cover anti-forensic threats to digital forensics. Uh, what we'll cover today is just the introduction part of it. And as the forensic class will start, we'll go delve into much more, details. So let's understand what is the meaning of word digital forensics and what are the, tasks that we do as a digital forensic. Now think about it, there is a threatening email has come from someone. Can we find who is the person? And can I take a legally acceptable evidence for that email has been actually been sent by the same person and nobody else? Or somebody has actually done the annotations here, the 2-3 times I have seen annotations are being done. Can I find who has done it and can I punish him? So a digital forensics technically covers certain well-crafted steps. It all starts with preservation of evidences. Secondly, acquire the evidences, whatever is available. Carry out a detailed analysis of the evidences and prove the intent and content of the evidence. And it can be from various media. It can be from USB devices. It can be from network. It can be from hard disk. It can be from SSD disk. It can be from external disk. It can be on the Facebook. It can be on the LinkedIn. It can be on your mobile phones, depending on, get and acquire the evidences from. So it has got, steps to be taken, okay? And for legal purpose, when you do the evidence acquisitions, there are processes that need to be followed. We'll not go into detail of that right now, but we'll cover it down the line. Once you acquire the information, which is known as acquisition of evidences, using a full-fledged forensic capabilities, then the next step is that, we need to have the data placed somewhere where we can do the analytics out of that. Many times data remains in the volatile memory. So take the example of your laptops. Some of the data might lie in your random access memory, RAM or PRAM, programmable read-only memory, place. Then how do you actually acquire the forensics, of the memory so that you can see that what exactly went wrong there? So the data recovery, investigating identity theft, doing the malware investigations, doing an incident response in Security Operations Center, collecting the evidences from the internet, doing a packet captures, comprehending the reasons, what went wrong, doing an email investigations, or even social media investigation for that matter. Sometimes somebody has misused the position in the corporate world and done the data exfiltrations being a part of inside the threat program. And many times, some criminals are sharing about the information about the child pornography or, trying to bully someone. The evidences need to be gathered to prove in the court of law that somebody has done something wrong and he is liable and responsible for it. When an evidence comes to the court of law, they go deep into it and find out whether this evidence is related to the same person as it is being presented. So at the end of the journey of a digital forensics, ultimately, particularly for law enforcement agency perspective, it aims to uncover the document relevant information for legal purpose so that the culprit can be booked for the mischief the person has done. But when it comes to the incident investigations in a typical security operations center, the journey is little different. It is not the same as the law enforcement agencies. At the end of, we need to find in security operations center, when you are managing the security events of a company, you go and check whether what is the cause of, things. What is the reason why a particular attack has happened to us? So digital forensics has got, a very well laid out steps, right from, the preservation, acquisition, analysis to interpretation of evidence, and finally presenting a report to stakeholder, including the law enforcement agency, to the judges in the court as a part of the charge sheet. Digital, forensics plays an important role. There are many, many use cases for that. Let's focus on some of them. Many times what happens, we want to recover the deleted data from the disk for investigation purpose. So what the culprit does or what the malware does, it deletes the data which is there in the disk. Now, can we recover the deleted data from the disk as a part of the recovery objectives? That is definitely one of the interesting use case for forensics. Second one, somebody has misused the identity. They have done the identity theft. Can I find out who has done it? What was the motive? And can I prove it in the court of law that somebody has done the identity theft? Then there are cases of ransomware investigations. When the ransomware has actually striked an organization's particular systems. Now, to avoid similar mishaps, they need to do the investigations of the events and incidents. During the course of investigations, it becomes important to go and check various reasons why the ransomware attack has happened and what is the end goal for that, how it happened, what is the loose ends, which particular endpoint device has been compromised, whether it has been compromised because insider engagements, somebody from insider has done some mischief, or it has been done by mistake, or it has come through some other channels, how the attack has come, how the ransomware attack has happened, how the lateral movement from one system of malware happened to another system, how come it reached to the specific server if it is ransomware investigation is to be carried out. Sometime, as a part of the investigations, people do forensics for the network purpose, internet investigations, like social media searches, social media related investigations, forensics becomes an important part of that. Now, suppose if you want to do the email investigations, suppose a threat mail has come from somebody, or a phishing mail has come to your organization. You want to know who is the person who has sent it, what IP address it has sent, which country this mail has come from, where the culprit might be there. Is it a proper accounts or it is a sock puppet accounts? We can find through the email investigations at length. And sometimes corporate espionage, and there are no dearth of such information on the internet. So many incidents of insider threat has happened. Somebody has moved to the corporate from one organization to another organization, carried away a lot of data along with them against the company policies and companies, well-written policies. And you have to do an investigation to find and link it so that the person can be booked in the court of law for breach of trust to criminal conspiracy case. And there are hundreds of cases are there on the internet if you want to find it out. Somebody from Tesla has moved to somebody else with all the data, and later on it has been proven that data has come from Tesla. The person has been arrested, put behind the bar. Same things, you have with the child pornography investigation. Somebody is wrong people have come up how to carry out a investigation for that, where this mail has come, where the photograph has come from, who are the people behind the photograph, who is the culprit. Similarly, you have got a lot of cybercrime investigation. Mobile forensics is a part of the journey. Cybercrime investigation is one of the key components to comprehend the theft, right from identity theft to the money theft. And forensics plays an important role in actually confiscating the evidences, taking the culprit to the court of law, and getting them punished with an excellent piece of investigation that is carried out by law enforcement agencies. When it comes to the Security Operations Center, Incident Response Team is another very important, use case for cyber forensics. And in this course, we'll be focusing on this cyber incident response as a most important part of our learning. We'll not go into the detail, cyber crime investigation piece of it, because Cyber Vidyapeeth Foundations focuses on cyber defense. So we'll cover cyber investigation with regard to the security incidents as a key journey for the next 30-35 days time. So our focus will definitely be cyber incident response, malware investigation, and digital device specific forensics with regard to security incidents. When actually the journey of computer has started, way back, I'm talking about 85 to 90 time frame, when people have started embracing the journey of cyber or technology, the cyber criminals have become onboarded. And the journey of cybercrime began almost similar time. So in the last 20-30 years time, lot of water has gone above the head. Many organization has actually captured some of the lesson learned from the past, that what is the best practices available for us for cyber forensics. And there are many organizations. Even ISO has got a full-fledged kit for cyber forensics, standards. But there are many other organizations, they have done it, and we'll touch base on some of them. And these best practices actually make the journey a lot easier. the statement of the great philosopher and world-class diplomat Chanakya. Lesson learned is an important thing. We cannot miss out in any warfare, including cyber warfare. So we definitely need to have a good, lesson learned captured somewhere as a part of, standards, the frameworks, and we need to follow those practices very meticulously. And that is very crucial for investigation intended for use of the court of law. If you make one mistake, the culprit will go off the board and court will not accept your judgments, your evidence. And if it is not done properly, it will not become admissible to the court of law and you will not be able to achieve the objectives. And when it comes to the security investigations or cyber investigations for incident response, one small mistake and you will miss the key component of your investigations and you will not be able to capture the incidents correctly. Both cases, it becomes a very difficult journey down the line if you have not followed the process properly. So there are many such processes are there which need to be followed. But some good practices like ACPO good practices is a very good guide for digital evidence. Published in 2012 by the National Police Chief Councils of USA. This document actually focuses on how to do the evidence acquisitions. And it is meticulously followed across the globe as one of the journey for best practices for evidence gathering. There is another one is the Department of Justice from US. They have done significant amount of documentations based on their judgments. Many times they have recommended certain steps. Those judgment, which is written in the finer lines has become an important component of many of the frameworks. Another group is there, which is known as Scientific Working Group on Digital Evidence, SWGDE. It's an amazing best practice for computer forensics. It has provided a very, very comprehensive procedure and practices for computer forensics applicable both in laboratory and non-laboratory settings. Let's understand that word laboratory. There are a lot of forensic labs are there. And there are certain labs which are accredited labs. So SWGD provides a very good guidelines for how to set up the labs, what are the best practices that need to be followed. So that, evidences came there for final, analysis, remain a good evidence which can be presented to the court of law. And the person can be booked. That is the end goal of any crime. The third one is Budapest Convention, also known as SETS number 185. This convention establishes an international framework for addressing cybercrime and provides guidelines for digital evidence handling. It's a very good piece of paper. It's worth going. And after that, there are many others are there. NCC, DOE, Estonia, and, one of the Center of Excellence of NATO. NATO headquarters has got its own. Then there are banking industry. There are a lot of, organizations are there. They have their own, frameworks. ISO has taken quite a bit of number of information from many of the best practices. They created their own ISO standard for forensics. So there are many to follow, but at the end of it, the goal is very simple. That what piece of information that is required for doing a good forensic steps so that we don't miss up or we don't mess up the investigation at all. End goals of finding the right evidence for the incident that has happened. And it has to be procured, acquired, analyzed, and presented to the court of law. It should become an admissible evidence and the person can be booked for the crime committed. And when you are doing it for, security incident analysis, you should know the reason for that. And you should come out with a report that how you can protect against similar type of attack in future. The lesson learned. So investigations can go towards, cybercrime. It can talk about, the investigation for data breaches that has happened in any organization, the reason for breaches, and, many such, information, you can find through your investigation. Many times in the corporate espionage and intellectual property theft happens, the organization will be interested if there is an insider engaged to that, and can we file a case against the person? Or if it has been taken by somebody else, can we find an attribution of that person's using various modes of digital forensics, including, attribution of the criminal, those who have come digitally to my systems and they have done something mischievous, they have done the data exfiltration and taken the intellectual property. Can we find that and, book them in a court of law? Similarly, with the malware analysis, significant amount of lesson learned can happen if the investigation has been done correctly. That required, significant amount of understanding of forensic capabilities, which journey begins with, volatile data memory acquisitions to the actual, system, compromise from one system to lateral movement and other systems, what particular methods has been done, how to establish the kill chain, the 7 steps, for data exfiltration, where the, how they have done the reconcile to, the journey of, final data exfiltration. Similarly, for digital response and digital evidence in legal proceedings becomes an important part of the journey. So when it comes to the tools for cyber forensics, there are many open source tools are already there, which has been written in C programming language to Python. And it has taken the same flavor of Linux and they bound the tool around that actually. And when it comes to these tools, the Linux itself has got a lot of, libraries which can be used for forensics. And we'll try to cover our scope limited to that only. Well, in addition to that, there are a lot of commercial tools are available. They are filthy costly, and they come from many forms and manifestation and many brands. And each of these brands are filthy costly. So at the end of the journey, if you learn how to do the forensics with Linux and with good, Python or Golang background, if you can create your own tools in forensics, India can become an Atmanirbhar Bharat in that space. And you can create your own startups. And what we'll be teaching you will give you the inner system engineering insights. So that down the line tomorrow, if you want to really bring it, your own tools, this will become a solid foundation for you. Because we are not going to touch the commercial tools, nor we are going to touch open source tools. We are going to touch the forensic engineering capabilities to comprehend that how the forensics is done and how we can utilize the tools and technology for that. While focus of this entire session is all about Kali Linux, But we'll touch base on some of the open source tool which can be connected with Linux, and we can do that. So one of the tool that comes along with Linux is Deft. Deft, as the name suggests, a digital evidence and forensic toolkit. While there are a commercial version for this also, there are people who have built something on top of that. We'll be touching the lighter version, called Deft 0 for forensic purposes. And you may also wish to download the full version of 0 versions also. There are, some other good features are there. You can download it from internet. And there are some commercial tools which has been taken, from the Deft, and they are a full-fledged commercial tools, and those tools we are not going to discuss as a part of it actually. And it can be used in Ubuntu desktops, or you can use it in your own Kali Linux. You can download it and you can build it along with that. Okay. Purpose is forensics and incident response both. So Deft, has got a lot of capabilities. It has got analysis capability. It has got anti-malware, investigation. If you want to do it, you can do the data discovery, recovery also. You can do the hash checkings. You can do the imaging. If you want to abstract acquire your image from your systems for further analysis and producing to the court of law. These capabilities are there. Okay. But you can use it for incident response freely, because when it comes to the digital evidence gathering, particularly for the purpose of legal purpose, then there are a lot of restrictions are there in the court of law. They want certified products, and unfortunately certification is not done in India. So most of the such products will have the Department of Justice certified product from USA. So there are some challenges on that. But we did not worry about that, because as far as incident response is concerned, particularly for Security Operations Center, this tool provides you a good amount of insights around that, and we'll do some hands-on practice around that. Okay. Another interesting tool is Cane. It's a very interesting tool, and we shall be touching some part of Cane also as a part of the journey. Cane has got many features. It's a very interesting tool. But one feature is a very interesting one. So when you select your boot options in the Cane, which we have seen in the last page, whether you start Cane live acquisition, you want to do it, start in compatibility mode, or boot live in safe graphics modes, or boot live in RAM, boot live in debug mode, or memory test. These are the options available in Cane. And when you do it live, or you do with a many features come up based on that actually. So there is a very interesting concept which we'll go delve into details little later in the program when we'll start the forensics proper. When you acquire an evidence, it should be precise, should be spick and span, and it should be tamper proof. No tampering should be done after the event when you have done the acquisition. Let's understand this. Suppose if I say that, this particular mobile, I find a file, I have to go and prove in the code that that file was actually here only and nowhere else. Now, when it comes to the code, they will ask you to prove whether it was here or it was somewhere else. How you will prove it? So you will say that, I have acquired the image from, from this mobile. And this mobile, when we have acquired the image, it has got the live, trackers. So when you are actually acquiring the data, it should be done in such a way that nobody can prove in the court of lab that this particular data is tempered and this evidence has been changed. So to ensure that, we need to have a write blocker capability for the information that we have acquired as an evidence. And we have to maintain chain of custody to prove that every evidence that has been acquired is intact without any changes and no possibility of any changes in this particular tool, because we have followed the right processes and this process has been followed in entirety. So can also provide you an unblock icon, or a block icon, for evidence gathering. So this is another, very good feature the Kane has it. So Kane tool, which will go details later on, you have a lot of, features in it. You have the analysis feature, you have a database feature, disk feature, hash failure, memory forensic figure. You want to do a live acquisition, you can do the live. You can want to do a mobile forensics, you can do the mobile forensics. It also has a feature of network forensics. OSINT, you can do it along with the Kane, and there are certain tools like, Guy Manager, Autopsy, Disk Image, Mountain, Fotek, Q4Tech. These are the various tools that you have as a part of the journey. Forensic tools. When it comes to the Kali Linux, why Kali Linux and why not any other Linux? I don't want to fall into that argument. Kali Linux is a good tool for forensic professional. That much I can tell you. But more than, Kali Linux for forensics, it is more important for the offensive and defensive security professionals. Actually, the original distribution that was there, it was known as Backtrack around 5 years back, 6 years back, till 2015. After that, the Kali Linux has become the, the tool for choice for the most of the hackers across the globe. The reason was very simple that, Kali Linux is packed with a lot of tools built in there for offensive and defensive purpose. And Kali Linux also has a lot of facility for forensics, which has been built in over a period of time. You have Kali Linux specific version, you can use it only for forensics. That is also possible. And there are, in Kali Linux website, you can go and check for that, you will find that. But the best thing is that, it is bundled with so much of security tools that for any, investigation, you require a tool, it's there. Suppose if you want to do a scanning and find out what are the IP addresses are alive right now or not, you can do Nmap built in there. You want to use a password cracking tool, John the Ripper, Hashcat, they are all built in there. Anything open source in security, the class 1 products, they are built in there as a part of the Kali Linux. And same thing with the forensics capability also. We want to do some memory forensics for offensive purpose as well as for defensive purpose. You have those tools available there. That's the reason, Kali Linux is the tool of choice as far as security operations center is concerned. Particularly when you are doing the investigation, Kali Linux become helpful. It's not that other Linux does not work. It does work. But Kali is a very, very focused security tools. And it is bundled with so many of libraries, which can be very, very helpful for you to do multiple tasks related to, cyber forensics, particularly for incident response purposes. And it has got a lot of, feature which enables, a lot of scripting you can do in Python, you can run it through this. So a Python and Linux, a combination of the two can be a very, very, helpful for many of the, offensive and defensive journey. Needless to say, with the help of Kali Linux, you can have multiple versions. You can have 32-bit, 64 bits. You want to do the live boot with USB device or SD cards. You want to do a virtual machine VDI infrastructure for Kali Linux. All those things are there. For this program, we'll have a combination of all of them. We'll prefer to have a live boot, which I have recommended as a part of the journey. Live boot is all about small USB device memory sticks. You should download it. You should have 8 GB minimum. If you have 16 GB, it is better. So have one USB device. Make the live boots ready. I have already shared the videos on that. Tomorrow, if you are on YouTube and if you don't know how to do that, search for the YouTube. Lots of videos are there how to download Kali Linux. If you want, I can share with you guys. It's already available in my Telegram channel. I'll just share it to the group where you all are. So in Kali, you have got many options for boot. But when we'll use it for forensics, we'll go for live forensics modes. That's a better option because that is where we'll do the focus study. So you will have many boot options available there, but we'll prefer live forensic mode boot. Okay. Once Kali live forensics mode is booted, it will look like this. Then you know that you have reached the right place. If you are finding any other screen, then you possibly have booted with something else. Okay. So it has to be exact same screen when you are, when you are going to the GUI, graphical user interface, and it has been taken from the screenshot from there. Okay. So you have to use this GUI mode for Kali Linux with live forensics. If you're not getting it, you need to do the troubleshootings. And then Kali menu can be found at the top left corner, which is applications. And within the applications, you have many things. You can go and click the forensics. And within the forensics, a lot of things will be there. You can download it on your desktop and it will look like this actually. So once you go there, you can download it on your desktop. It will look like this. So you have got a lot of tools are there, which is a part of your forensics capabilities. If you want to know about the full feature of it and you want to know more about Kali Linux, feel free to go to this website, kali.org, releases Kali Linux. 2019 3 versions, we'll be using more often for that, but you can go for the latest version also, doesn't matter. Out of these 3 forensic distributions, Kali can operate as a live response forensic tool, but can also be used as a full operating systems. You want to use a full operating system, feel free to use. There's no challenge. But if you use it for task, you should know how to boot it only for forensics purpose, so that your mind does not go here and there. So the goal for an investigation is a very well said step, which I have already told you people some 15 minutes back. First is, preservation of the evidence. The evidence has been kept properly. Evidence like a RAM memory evidence, volatile memory evidences, they are very important evidences, because if it gets lost, if the investigation has started, if you have not done the right steps to copy that and keep it safely as an evidence, everything will get changed after time. So preservation of evidence is an important journey as a part of and there are different tools may have different approach. And cross-validations are needed for the reliability of the findings. So many times, more than one tool you can use it. It is a better choice, so that result give you the same results. Why? The reason is that, when you go to the, court and submit the evidences, it will become a very important component for that in any tool, the results should be same. That consistency provides the evidence has been done correctly at any point of time. Okay. Second is, it should be forensically sound evidence. What does that mean? So when you are using, multiple tools and getting the same results, it increases the likelihood of obtaining forensically sound results and proving it to the court of law that, yes, this is the only result which comes irrespective of any tool that you use it. And when you compare the output from different tools, if any evidence, discrepancies are there or anomalies are there, then it only suggests the more detailed analysis is required, and the current data set is not complete data sets to conclude the evidence. Because it will not be possible in the court of law to go and submit that evidence, and your cross-examiner will actually rip apart the evidences that has been given to you. Third one is the cost considerations, particularly for, when you are doing it, for court of law, it is good to do it with some forensic tools, certified tools. But for our purpose, Security Operations Center, I am fine. You should use the tool which are cheap, no cost attached to that, learn it and use it for your purpose. Security investigations and for law enforcement agency investigations are two different paradigms. That's the reason learning for security investigations using the open source tool is far superior than going and spending the money for digital forensics. But suppose if you are examining, a case where corporate spionage has been found, in that case, if you have to take the person to the court of law, then it is good to use commercial tools and trustworthy tools, certified tools, so that in the court of law, it cannot be challenged by the cross-examiners. One very important thing is that, is a time efficiency, because every case, that particularly the security incidents, you cannot afford to have, luxury of time. So many times you need to really do it fast. So many times digital forensic investigation can be very, very time consuming. So by working with multiple forensic copy of evidence and employing different tools simultaneously, investigator can expedite the investigation process and potentially save times. So suppose if one person is doing the investigation using one tool, then he will go and validate in second tool, then it will be third tool. If you have acquired the image forensically, then you can make the copy of those images and do the multiple investigations same time to curtail the timeline and validate the findings by different investigators if it is possible to do so. But suppose if you are in a security events, notifications and, you are investigating that, it's okay to use one tool and still validate with something else. But time is critical there in case of security events. The important is the reliability and accuracy. The concept of reliability and accuracy for forensics is a very important one, because in the court of law, reliability and accuracy matters a lot. So it is not just a speed, but also the consistency, reliability, and accuracy becomes an important journey for it, in addition to the speed. And when you are using multiple tools to validate the same theme and you find a consistent result, then you get a feeling that, yes, this evidence is absolutely perfect and it can be taken to the court of law. So in US, there is something known as a NIST CFTT program, which actually do the reliability testing for the tools. And there are many organizations like UL Lab is one of the organizations where they do the validations of the tools created for forensics and they do the certification for that under the NIST CFTT programs. So then, tool that you are using, which is actually certified by NIST CFTT, then the tool's result cannot be challenged in the court of law because it's a certified tool and whatever evidence that has come out of that has got reliability and accuracy proven by testing an accreditation lab. So many times when you are going for, law enforcement authority type of, work where you have to produce the court of laws of evidences, it is good to have a certified, tools, a certification like, NIST CFTT programs can be a good way to approach your evidence gathering tools and analysis tools. Needless to repeat, integrity of investigation is a very important journey because you need to show that, whatever work that you are doing for evidence gathering, steps are meticulous, it is repeatable steps, and result is same irrespective of the tool. That shows that integrity of the investigation, and which includes, whether you have acquired the evidences correctly or not, whether you maintain the chain of custody or not, whether you have done the analysis with multiple tools and got the same result or not. These steps provides integrity, reliability, and accuracy of the program. And then your journey to going to the court becomes much easier. We'll cover some portion of, reliability portion as a part of the journey. While we can go into some of the tool details for commercial tool, it is out of, syllabus for this course. But referring to the name, there's no harm. Okay. So there is something known as the Belkasoft Evidence Center. It's a new tool. It has come 2022 version also has come. And it's automated incident response and forensics tool that is capable of analyzing acquired image of memory dumps, virtual machines, and cloud. All three conditions, it can do, and even do the mobile backups. In addition to the physical disk or logical disk, whatever is there. So, and there are many such tools are there. Okay. Belkasoft is definitely one of them. It's very large organization. They have got full capabilities for doing forensics. There is another one which is known as FTK, is the Access Data FTK tool, forensic toolkit. Has got, a very, FTK also has got an open source version. We can go and check for that. And, But what we'll be doing in conṋeŭuence, whatever is built in there, we'll use only that purpose. Okay. So one of the component is your anti-forensic threat to digital forensics. Now, the biggest challenge which evidence gathering organization or law enforcement agency is facing today, lot of technique has come which is known as anti-forensics. Anti-forensics is the technique which actually it becomes very challenging and stressful for the investigator. Now, suppose if you have taken a hard disk, if the hard disk is encrypted with 4096-bit encryption and the keys are not available with you, it's very difficult to carry out the evidence gathering. How will do it? How will read it without the key? And like that, there are many technique has come. Is definitely this is out of the syllabus questions to discuss here, but we'll touch some documentations around that at the end of the course. And possibly I'll provide you a video, nice video of mine on that when the time comes. I may not be taking the class, but you might find an interesting video of mine, which I have done it around 3 months back, which is available with me. I'll publish it on the YouTube and you can go and search for that. At the end of class, don't search for that, now. There are a lot of videos are already available on the internet on forensics, and you want to go and learn from there, you can do it in addition to what we are doing. But anti-forensics is a threat to investigators. And we need to see that how we can manage that well. Otherwise, many investigation will fail to deliver anything if you can't find an evidence which can be taken to the court of law. So many breaches is happening and nothing is forensically gathered evidence is not giving anything. So we need to be cautious about it and we need to understand the risk attached to that. So while it says it's a new field, yeah, particularly for incident response, it's a relatively new field. And many times nowadays, the attackers are manipulating the memories and they are playing around with the memory to execute certain things, certain commands, which is not visible to your eyes. And the malware is able to, or APT, advanced persistent threat, they're able to really pip into your systems and it becomes very difficult to detect it. So how to analyze the memory as a part of your forensics is definitely an interesting area and relatively new science, I will tell. While it's not very new science, it is 30-year-old science. I remember in 1995 also when I was studying forensics, I found some of those components of that. Yeah, it has changed a little bit, but it's not that it was a foundation laying has happened recently, not like that, but it has advanced a lot. And a lot of new technique has come for memory obfuscation. We need to, as a good forensic personnel, you need to know the memory first and then obfuscation techniques, and then know how to deobfuscate, the memory to find the, from the haystack, how you can find the gold mines out of that actually. Okay, so here we'll end today session, and give me just 1 second before I start question answers, because we need to shut down, the end stream for YouTube. Boys and girls, those who are in YouTube, thank you so much, for joining us today. And a lot of, questions are there, please, we'll just download some of them and we'll get back to you soon. Okay. So our session ends here today. Tomorrow we'll start at 7 p.m. again. For YouTubers, please, you can go off. The people on the Zoom, you can still continue to be around. We'll continue with some question answer session.